Another Stanley Cup is within grasp in the GM mode for the Montreal Canadiens. Standing in their way, the Colorado Avalanche, and a team that would like to force a potential Game 7 coming out of this. I would love to not have to play that Game 7 because we have way too much experience with Game 7s in the past. I have negative memories with Game 7. So the puck's down, and it will be over to Gabe Landis. Shut down Landeskog. Nice play. Knocked down by Pacioretty. We're into one now. So Sukai Ming, there's a deke. I'm going to drop it back to the point guy. Hedman over for Severson. Puck's on net. Deflected in, saved by Eric Brassard. And I'd like to avoid that Game 7. I have too many negative memories. Well, not too many negative memories. I have one negative memory in a Game 7. It was against the Edmonton Oilers. Who else but 87 with the deflection on the first play of the game. Let's get into it. I got a coffee with me, as always, on a lovely weekend morning when I can record these early morning recording sessions. Let's just chip that down low. Pacioretty, I'm going to continue to work that cycle. Crosby is to it. I'm going to kick that along. Lovely start to the game for the first line. Look at that. Look at that pass. Oh my God. Slap me silly, guys. That was an amazing shift for the first line to create the goal for Max Pacioretty. Get out of town with this play. They went to town on this play. That's what they did. They went to town all over the Avalanche. Look at this. The defense doesn't even know what hit him. Shocked. Shell-shocked, harder than soldiers at Verdun. Oh God, I choked on my own tongue when I was in the middle of that sentence. I didn't even know, honestly, how to approach this game because it's been so long since I last recorded. I'll talk about that in a moment, but it has. It's been so long since I did Game 5. It's not been that long. It's been just under a week since I did Game 5, but I took a nice little break. It was lovely for me to have a break because I could play some video games. I've been getting really hardcore back into World War II history. I'm a big history nut. Not in the sense that I can tell you history facts off the top of my head, but I love watching history programs and reading about history, especially war. Oh my God, Begers almost just went bar down. We are in control of this game. We want to win this bad, and we might win this pretty bad. I don't know how many cups we've won in the GM mode, but there is another one that is on the line tonight, and it looks like we might have our way with the Colorado Avalanche early in this one. But as I was saying, look at this shot by Begers. Oh! And again, it just flew right by the ear of Eric Brassard. But as I was telling you, I love history. I love reading about history. I love watching history, programs, documentaries, stuff like that, TV shows, especially when it comes to history and World War II history in particular. And I love this first line. That's why I went right back to him. But lately I've been getting right back into World War II history and specifically the Pacific Theater of World War II. There's a TV show that was a TV miniseries that was made by HBO back in 2010 called The Pacific, and I've been really into that this week. In fact, I purchased the Blu-ray disc for The Pacific this week. It was super cheap. So I purchased the Blu-ray disc for that because I haven't seen that miniseries in almost 16 years now. I watched it when it aired. So the way that they used to do it on HBO is they used to air it like it was a weekly episode. So an episode would come out once per week, and you'd wait for it to air on HBO. And so that's how I would watch it. Now you can just watch stuff like that. Like, I guess they still do stuff like that. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of TV series. But anyway, I watched it when it came out, but I haven't seen it in so long that it's almost kind of for me, it's going to be almost like watching it for the first time all over again. So I'm into that right now. So I took my week off here to buy that and watch that series again. And I've also I pulled out my old copy of Call of Duty World at War because the Peleliu Island mission is in that, and I've been really fascinated by the Battle of Peleliu. What an unnecessary battle that really ultimately ended up being for the Americans. Shot and a save on a rebound there. And I'm talking about World War II instead of gameplay, but it's legitimately what's been on my mind lately. So just talking about what I've been doing with my... I basically took a week off from recording. I didn't take the week off from editing. But during my nice little week off, Call of Duty World at War, what a great game. Just one of the best COD games ever made. Like the campaign for that game, I think, my personal opinion, the best COD game campaign-wise was Modern Warfare 2. That's my favorite Call of Duty campaign. And because whenever I was growing up, when I played Call of Duty, when it was new, when I played Modern Warfare 2, we didn't have great internet because I lived literally as a kid. I lived in the literal middle of nowhere, so our internet was not fantastic. You couldn't play on the, you couldn't play online, is what I'm getting at. So I would play the campaigns over and over and over again of any Call of Duty games that I had, and I remember playing the crap out of Modern Warfare 2's campaign, and I enjoyed it every time I played the campaign. I started out on a lower difficulty, and I played it so much that I got comfortable with playing veteran, and then I did the same thing with Modern War. I did the same thing with World at War. I'm trying to talk and play this game. I'm not doing too bad of a job, but that was a really sloppy possession in the attacking zone. But eventually I just got really comfortable with playing all the games on veteran difficulty, which is not really much of an accomplishment, because I think just about anyone that's somewhat proficient can play those games on veteran difficulty. World at War on veteran sucks. That was an obliterating collision for Sukai Ming. Don't get injured here. You have a Stanley Cup to potentially lift tonight. The thing that pissed me off about World at War, replaying it and revisiting it, is I forgot how bad the grenade spam is on World at War. Oh my god, the AI just throw grenades at you. Pacioretty looking for his second of the game, and we'll chop that back in. So that's enough talk about Call of Duty games while we play NHL 14 with this retro gaming series. Games just aren't as good as they used to be, which is why I'm playing this series. It's why I have a GM mode from NHL 14 going on here. Duchesne, it will deflect into Brassard. He'll collect it there in the blue paint. Yeah, games just aren't as good as they used to be. Developers used to put heart and soul and time and effort into games, and then they came out with all kinds of things like loot boxes, and NHL has HUT, which I understand, but the problem with HUT, so I'm going to go on a tangent here. The problem with HUT, and I understand it from EA's perspective, is HUT is EA's cash cow. It's how EA just makes money. So if you're a company, right, your ultimate objective is, what do you want to do? Ultimately, you want to make money. Yes, you're trying to make a product that entertains your fan base, that entertains people, that people want to buy, but your ultimate end goal as a company, I didn't mean to drop that, is to simply just make money. So I understand it from EA's point of view, is if it makes us money, why would we drop it, and why wouldn't we focus on it? You know, that's why EA doesn't have GM connected anymore. Big save. And we'll clean that up with Torrey. Ryan Precht here skated away Bertrand. I'm going to airlift this into the zone. Vovoda was looking to go on a change, which would have been the right thing for him to do. He is gassed. I can feel it in his legs. He's skating very slow out here. But that's why GM mode connected will not come back more than likely, because it's not a priority for EA, because it doesn't make them money like HUT does. HUT is a priority because it makes EA Sports money. You can get people to pay for HUT cards and HUT packs. And, kids, the old moniker, kids breaking out their mom's credit card and paying for HUT packs. I mean, that's basically what's going on there. So EA will never, unfortunately, more than likely, I'm going to take a whistle off of that. EA will more than likely not prioritize the actual gameplay experience or other game modes like Be a Pro or Franchise mode. And I haven't played any of the modern, more recent NHL games since 24, so I didn't play 25 or 26, because I'm not buying a PS5 just to play one game. So for people who are wondering, why did I abandon goalie Be a Pro? It's, number one, I'm not buying, like I said, I'm not buying a PS5 to play one game. Because if I bought a PS5, I don't know what games I'd be interested in playing. I'm not a big gamer. I'm mostly a sports gamer. That's most of what I play is sports games. But, even sports games lately have just sucked. Like, there's no heart and soul put into sports games anymore. They're not fun anymore. That's why I play this. This is way more fun than what EA's dropping. This is a better game from a gameplay experience than than modern games are. And I don't care how... I think this game actually graphically, in some ways, I think this game actually graphically looks a little bit better than the modern games, believe it or not. But it's not all about graphics. But the gameplay experience is superior to the graphical experience. Even if you believe that this game graphically is less superior to the modern games. The gameplay experience in NHL 14 is an enjoyable one for me. It's challenging, it's fun. They really did a good job with true performance skating. I think the skating in this game, they got it right. Like, the skating in this game feels good, which is why I like playing it. And I've gone off on my tangent and forgot what I was going to say. We returned that puck to Kudrowinski. I'm going to punch that out behind the blue line. We just need to wrist it in. We're playing a relatively simple game here. We're not really looking to take too many risks and too many chances. We got a lead right now. I'd like to carry that into the intermission. And all that I've done in this first period is just blabber off at the mouth about whatever. But we're finishing hits on Gabriel Landeskog. I mean, we turned him into a freaking pancake on the boards there. Breakfast served up Matt Duchene style on the boards right there. And he's going to ask if you want your Gabriel Landeskog scrambled as well. That's going to be an icing, but collected by Damon Severson. We'll slap that down the rink. 35.3 to go. That should be my first line with an opportunity to take this face off. And I'll talk more probably at the start of the next period. Let's just focus on the gameplay to end the period. Crosby winning that face-off. Severson light wrister down, and it'll be off the pad, saved by Brassard, but this first line continues to just do what they did best on the goal that they created to start the game. Back to Severson, back to Crosby. Pump fake, Crosby turns, slap shot, but wide. And back in on net, Ming is all around it. That first line is dominating the Colorado Avalanche. They don't have an answer for it right now. We're 2 periods away. We can win the Stanley Cup with 2 strong periods against the Colorado Avalanche. Eric Brassard is doing enough right now to keep his team in the game. But it was Max Pacioretty off the post and in off of some wonderful cycling playmaking. Okay, so I know we got the lead. We're going into period number 2, Stanley Cup Final, Game 6. 1-0 lead, Montreal over Colorado. And I was going to talk about something. I forgot what I was going to talk about. This is the problem with how my brain works. So for people who don't know how my brain works, is the way I basically need to do it. When I'm going to talk out loud about a subject like this, what the hell happened? What happened to Hedman? Okay. Well, Victor Hedman, he kind of got put in a spin cycle there. He looked like he was in a washing machine. All right, Damon Severson, the cold shoulder is given to Galchenyuk. We'll wrist that along. Oh, I got to get out of the zone here. And I'm just going to shoot this off the glass out to center. So the way that my brain works... Oh my, I tried to do too much with Crosby. The way that my brain works is when I'm going to talk about a subject or multiple subjects, I just need to kind of cue them up in my mind, and I need to just talk about one subject at a time. But I tend to want to talk about a million things at once, and then my brain just gets disorganized with what I was going to say. I know that I was talking about hut packs. I was talking about EA's priority of certain game modes over others. I don't know. I've already forgotten what I was going to... I've lost my train of thought. And that's the problem with me, is I want to talk about a million things. I know that I talked about my interest that has been reignited with World War II history. But ultimately what I should do is just talk about the freaking gameplay that's at hand here. Because, I mean, the cup's on the line. But, we're so used to doing this. This is just business as usual for the Canadiens. We're used to playing Stanley Cup Final games. I was looking back at the Edmonton and the Winnipeg series. Man, how did we blow that Edmonton Stanley Cup Final series? We came back, we pushed it back here in a Game 6 to get it to a Game 7. And then we didn't even show up for the Game 7 against Edmonton. That's a game that I don't think I will ever live down. Begris pinned it back down for Malte Stromwall against Urbom. He's going to kick it. Barry has also pinned himself to the boards. What happened? Why is Begris all the way up in the play? But we're going to keep this puck in, back down low. I want to keep pucks alive, and I want to try to give ourselves a chance to battle for these. LeBlanc, we're doing a good job of that. It has got to be a nightmare for Colorado trying to get out of the zone. Save off the blocker from Zachary Fucale, who might be, like I said, oh my God, what a save by Fucale. He might be the next coming of Carey Price in the goal crease. He's done just about as much as Carey Price has in just a couple of seasons since Price left for the Rangers. And that's another question. Will Carey Price retire in the offseason? What do we think happens there? Isn't it kind of crazy that we went from Carey Price, we moved on from Price, he didn't retire, but we moved on from one of the best goaltenders in this GM mode. Basically, Carey Price, I don't think he won a Vezina with us, but basically one of the best goaltenders in the league, and that is solidified by the Stanley Cup championships that he won and carried us to. And you move on from Price and replace him with who? Zach Fucale, is he an 87 goaltender now? 87 overall? It's a luxury for us to have two really good goaltenders. You can replace Price immediately with Fucale, and then you can go on multiple Stanley Cup championship runs. That was a tough play for Damon Severson, and who was involved in that? Gabriel Landeskog, Galchenyuk, Crosby, golfed that right to Galchenyuk. Puck ends up, there's a goal on the stick of McElrath. That was a sloppy play. Pretty uncharacteristic defensive breakdown for our team. Troy McElrath just a third of the playoffs. Galchenyuk and Landeskog will get the helpers. I mean, I'm going to give it up to Fucale. He didn't help himself with this. Look at him. He drops down and he kind of paddles it. He paddled it right to the slot area. Now, I'm just a beer league goaltender, so I can't tell you anything from a competitive standpoint, but I tell you this. I have taken instruction from a goaltending coach, and they do tell you if you're going to push the puck like that, you want to put it in the corner. You don't want to push the puck anywhere near the slot area. I can tell you about that. If you put the puck in the slot area, you're going to have a problem for days. As a goaltender, I'm working out in the corner here. I got to get this puck moving. We got to get our feet moving. We got a cycle going here. That was supposed to go in the corner, but okay. I hate when it doesn't work out the way that I want it to, and I'm out of position with Ben Messier. That's a rebound that Fucale will snag right there in the goal crease. No further action. Oh, that's got to be a painful slash, because it's Larry. Look how big Larry Ronning is compared to whoever he's going. Oh, did he take a penalty? This is the Larry Ronning special. He loves taking infractions. He went a little too far over the line. I think the referees... Oh, it's Nathan McKinnon. I didn't know who that was because McKinnon's not wearing 29 here. I don't know what his preferred jersey number is. I don't even know what he wore in junior. I know that he played for Halifax, won a Memorial Cup championship, didn't he, with Halifax? I'm pretty sure that McKinnon is a Memorial Cup winner with the Halifax Mooseheads back in his draft year. Huge save on the try from Galchenyuk. Messier, gentle saucer for Ming. That's one move. Ming turns him inside out, but it was a quick turnover there for McKinnon and the Avs to go back the other way. So I think the officials let the initial slash on McKinnon from Ronning go, but it was the extra stuff that he continued doing after the whistle that got him in big trouble on that one. Oh, yeah. Ming's slow. He's gassed. Not too gassed to make that shot happen. Burns just back on net. He fanned on it. Burns, you can't fan on it with a penalty kill. Okay, Burns dove, and it almost worked out for us, and it also almost worked out for the Avalanche at the same time. So Begris pinned to the boards. Burns down rink. I just wanted to make sure that I fired that puck cleanly down the ice. Oh, nice play by Ryan Kudrowski. He's still on this. Cut back move, down low. Duchesne on the backhand. Look at this team shorthanded. Ferocious activity shorthanded from the Montreal Canadiens. With 11 seconds to go on the man advantage, there's Su-Kai Ming. Oh, that's right. I was like, what did he do? He made that little... It's called a loose puck deke in the game, so that's what I'm going to go with. He did a loose puck deke. I have a name for dekes that I don't know what the name of them are. Like, there's one deke that I do. I just call it a punch deke. Oh, that rebound settled right there for Kudrowski. The kill is completed for Montreal. Back to 5-on-5. Now, why don't they get a penalty? If Larry Ronning gets a penalty for being a little extreme after the whistle, I don't even know if this would have been a legal goal. Yes, I think that would have been legal from Matt Duchesne. It didn't look like the stick was above the shoulders. LeBlanc playing my third-line center position. He's going to take this face-off, and he will lose said face-off. Saarinen scoops it up for Colorado. Ronning, stay out of the box. That's mission number one, mission objective. Oh my God, what a sneaky play that was. Did you see that? Up to Kamayev. I'm going to go saucer pass for LeBlanc. He's going to put it into an area that is behind everyone and the blue line. Ronning slapped off the glove on the dump in, and it was handled by Brassard. We have too many guys in aggressive on the forecheck. Saarinen is wide on that right wing there, left wing rather. Or no, that's the right wing. From my perspective, it's the left wing. From their perspective, it's the right wing. I'm going to dump this in. I got to get that right when I am doing commentary. We got a nice forecheck. We're running a weak side lock, so I don't know if that's the forecheck that I used. There's my punt. There's that bump deke to the outside again. Hedman will just pull it behind the blue line, so I would like to reset so I can dump this in. You know, I might be able to just skate this in, and I'm just going to wrist it from there. That was supposed to go behind the net instead of into Eric Brassard. Oh, man. I got to remember that this is a 1-to-1 game, so it's a 1-1 tie. Decision-making is ultra extremely important. As we get to this third period, if it's a 1-1 tie in the third period, especially getting toward the halfway point of the third period, you're going to see a lot of Sidney Crosby and my first line getting out there. I don't know why they're not out there more often. They've had a strong start to this game, and I like to imagine they can keep it up. Now, we haven't been to the power play in this game. I'd like to see that happen. We're going to have to earn that power play. That's the thing, is we're going to have to earn it. Okay, work with me, Ryan Precht. He did not, so I'll just send it down low. Get Urban free of that puck. Look at this battle going on right now from Voivoda. It was intended for Pacioretty. Voivoda's got to get off the ice. He's slow. Ronning on Arvidsson. He at least separates the puck from Arvidsson. I'm going to try to protect that puck away. Nice skating by Ben. I love Ben Messier. He's such a sneakily good player. He's a really good skater. Lowell Crosby. Crosby just skated his face into the crossbar. He wanted to give that thing a nice big smooch. Look at this. He was trying. I don't know what was going on with the AI on that one. He was trying to go to the net to become a deflection option. And I was trying to be sneaky with that pass and slide it behind all the defenders onto the stick blade of Sidney Crosby. But it would not go. We're going to draw an icing out of this. And that should keep my first line on the ice, and my first D pair for that matter. Duchesne with 28 points. Did it say in 22 games? Impressive. He's going to win the Conn Smythe. I mean, I don't know how you don't make an argument. I don't know how you make an argument for anyone else. If we win or lose this, nice hip check. We just completely dumped that player. Oh, my God. Yeah, McElrath has a goal in this game. Let's just give him another one. Goodness gracious. I don't know what I'm thinking there. Ming. That's a nice tight turn, double pivot move shot with a block in front. Hedman to his own rebound. Severson collects it. Severson holds up, fires, scores, short side, snippety doodah. There's the lead, restored for Le Canadien. That was not my best pronunciation. I do not have a French tongue, but I can try. Crosby pulled up Barry just a little bit there with that. He tied him up right in the slot, and then that didn't allow for Barry to get over there on Damon Severson. And he was supposed to take a slap shot, by the way, was Damon Severson, and he took forever to shoot it. By the time I actually released it, his little hold, his delay and pause bought enough time to score a goal there on the short side. It may have fooled Eric Brassard. He didn't know where it was going to go. So is that the game-winning goal? That is not the last goal. That is not the game-winning goal, because that's not the last goal that the Avs are going to score in this game. Look at that play by Nino Niederreiter. We're going to slap it in. Off the boards it will go. Help me out, Duchesne. There we go. Duchesne's on. Oh, my God. There, and that's why you got to be there, Duchesne. Niederreiter dropped down for Duchesne, but he didn't read me. Oh, God. What a stretch pass for McKinnon. And then Brent Burns is right there in your face. Oh, my God. Oh, okay, Eric Johnson. Apparently that's legal. I didn't think that was going to connect with Malte Stromwall. Glennie wide of the net. Figure out who's defending who. Oh, boy. We're having a tough time here with LeBlanc in the corner. Go pick that puck up. Ben Messier. I mean, this is a guy that can literally skate it coast to coast. His skating is so good. I knew we were going to be offside. I saw that on the left wing. I think it was Stromwall. They had so much momentum. Look at this pass for McKinnon, and then boom, Brent Burns. Meet Brent Burns. He'll sign you an autograph. I don't know if McKinnon wants an autograph after that hit. It's a meet and greet. and a one-way trip to the hospital. So once again, we have the potential to end the period with the lead if we're calm and if we're careful with this. That's offside. Just touch it. Just touch it. With 11 seconds to go, just touch the puck. I tried to send that up there, beat the defenseman to that blue line. I trust Crosby with a D-zone face-off at this point in the game here, and he'll win it just as easy as ever. Super clean win, super clean breakout. Let's try to get a shot on goal. Patch ready. Skate to stick. He still had it, but that'll be the end of the period. Did Crosby take a penalty? Oh, I fear that Crosby may have taken a slashing infraction at the end of that period. It's still a close game, and all to play for. Colorado can totally force a Game 7 with a good third period on their hands, but they got to deal with this man. Damon Severson, the little hold and delay, and then the release. 2-1 Canadiens. Crosby, I don't know if he's going to be in the box. I have a voracious appetite for Lord Stanley's mug. I want to drink out of it. We do not have a penalty. We are playing this 5 aside. Well, you know what? If Crosby would have been in the box to start this, there's the little animation that we get to start the period there. He wouldn't have been standing by the bench. He would have been in the box if he was in the penalty box for that infraction. But no matter, we are at 5-on-5. I'm going to double back here and then send it down low. Patch ready just couldn't quite play that puck. We have a teleporting Crosby on the ice. And now we have a turnover. Patch ready, given for Crosby, but he couldn't get to it, but he gets to it now. No support up the boards where Landeskog was from the Canadiens, so it's an easy breakout and opportunity for the Avalanche. I'm going D to D here. You know, I did that was it in this series? I'm going to float it. Aerial flip play into the Colorado zone. Brassard will be smart to take the whistle. That was off the stick blade of Sidney Crosby on that dump out. So I told you, irregardless of the third period, we are going to see a lot of the first line, which is Sidney Crosby, Max Pacioretty, and Su Kai Ming. They'll be on the ice a lot in this period, in crucial and clutch situations. I don't think the Avs are done scoring goals tonight. I don't think we have... Oh, my God. If they can't get out of their own zone, they're going to have a tough time scoring goals. Okay, we whacked that right to Duchesne. Now back down to Duchesne. Burns... Did you see Burns sneaked right down the wing there and opened himself up for that one-timer? That's what I was trying to do. I saw that out of the ever so slight corner of my eye, and Burns has not scored a goal in the playoffs to this point. How did you make the save? Kamayev, weird angle chance from Kamayev. Played glove to stick by Ryan Kudrowinski. And we're all over this. Pin him on the boards. In the D zone, Brodin for McKinnon, outlet to Panic, or Ponic. We'll give him a nice little hip check for that action. Ben Messier doubles back on the forechecker. Stretch pass, up to Stromwall, in behind the D, penalty drawn, slide Deke. Stromwall couldn't stay with it. It's going to settle in the pads of Brassard, but we're going to be on the power play. That was a sweet move by Malte Stromwall. I've talked about this many times. But in the real world, and the way my brain thinks in the real world is I'm a left-handed shooter. That was a crazy play by Vladislav Dakiv. And that's the best pronunciation that I can do of that name. But in the real world, I shoot left-handed, I think left-handed, but in this game, I actually deke better with right-handed shooters than I do with left-handed shooters, depending on the type of deke that you're trying to do. So the deke that I did with Stromwall on that play, I actually did better with that because he's a right-handed shot. I don't know why it makes sense for me and for my brain in this game, but it just does. Crosby just doubling back on all of the Avalanche shooters. Niederreiter, someone's got to get to this, and eventually it will be McKinnon cleared. And I forgot, oh, are you kidding me? I just got absolutely clapped. I had my cheeks clapped by the AI on that. What the hell, Nathan McKinnon? I don't even know how far. I gotta go into instant replay. McKinnon, so basically what happened, McKinnon cleared it from the D zone. It hit the stanchion where the curved glass is by the bench, landed in the middle of the ice, died right for Galchenyuk. That's gonna be the assist of the year. Timeout. Okay, we can see this from instant replay. I don't know what camera angle I want to use. Let's start with this one. So the puck's right there. It's on McKinnon's stick blade in the middle of your screen right there. He's going to turn, he's going to slap it, fires it at a direct diagonal angle. And I can't zoom in from this camera. We'll go in the free run, but you see the puck on the right side of your screen there by the CCM logo. It hits the curved glass. It kicks into the middle of the rink right for a sprinting Galchenyuk to skate into this. We can't catch up to him because, I mean, what are you going to do? There's nothing you can do on this play defensively. Fucali is hung out to dry because of this play. Now, I'm going to give you multiple camera angle looks at this because this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen an AI team do. McKinnon, slap, down the rink. You can't see the puck. It's not on the screen, but it's going to kick off the glass into the ice. It's not out of play. It's not considered out of play. Look at these moves as well by Galchenyuk. So Galchenyuk, who was, of course, traded for Matt Duchene, coming back to haunt me in this one. One more. Here's another camera angle. Look at it in real time. Right to Galchenyuk. I mean, you couldn't have set up a better assist than this shorthanded. I mean, what a dirty play, shorthanded. Here's behind the net view. Off the glass. I mean, this would have satisfied my eyeballs if it was my team doing this. This is just filthy. Disrespectful play, shorthanded, by McKinnon and the Colorado Avalanche, making this goal happen. That's just some extreme filth by McKinnon, and they get a shorthanded. McKinnon and the Avalanche. I'm going to drop this back. Kuzhinski, I'll show you. Oh my God, Duchene's trying to just do it right back to him. Right back to his former team as well. So these two guys are playing their former team. Duchene swatted it through the goal crease. I'm going to drop that back down low. Duchene, puck protection mode, engaged. Down low, LeBlanc, Duchene. Kuzhinski shoots, but it was blocked away. That was actually almost cleverly set up, but a little too cleverly for my own good. LeBlanc into center ice territory. Kicked wide. Kuzhinski driving the play is Ben Messier. That's a stand-up save, 1980 style by Eric Brassard. I'm going to try to hold on to this puck as much as I can. Kuzhinski settling it on the stick blade. There it is. Duchene with a rebound and given away for an easy clear for Gabe Landeskog. That is the end of that power play opportunity. Behind the net now, Ben Messier. We know we can go coast to coast with it. You know, he's got speed. Why not? He's got attitude. Let him take it. He's going to be offside. I was really holding my breath for a little bit on that power play. I overpassed it a little too much, maybe. Look at this save. The confidence from Eric Brassard. You know, there's an old school goaltender or an old school goalie coach from the 1980s that's looking at that save, and he's like, why don't they just make saves like that all the time? Why do the goaltenders drop? Why can't they just make an easy save like that standing up on their feet? Stay on their feet the whole time. That was a really unfortunate rebound. We tumult Victor Rask into the ice surface, but we're going to go on the shorthanded kill. So can we set up a play now shorthanded against the Colorado Avalanche? The last couple of series, the Detroit series, the Columbus series in particular, and then this one against the Avalanche in the Cup final have not disappointed. So we're going to have some drama down the stretch here in Game 6, and I might have to. I'm going to take the whistle. I might pause the game in a moment, and I might put Sidney Crosby on my penalty kill. He's not out there right now. We'll see. We got to see how this penalty kill evolves. If you want to get yourself a shorthanded goal, you should have Sidney Crosby out there. Okay, Lucas Vovodas. He does have a shorthanded goal. He has a shorthanded game winner. I don't know what round it was. It's in the early stages of this playoff run. Begris. Got to get on that. We got to get on that. Man, the Avs are firing the puck around. They get the lead. Was it Galchenyuk again? It is. He's got markers on both special teams. Suddenly, this game has turned on its head. We are trailing. We find ourselves chasing the game, and we had two defenders in the corner. That's not a good recipe for success killing a penalty. You have Begris and Ronning down there. They're puck focused. They both simply got puck focused, and it's an easy short side one-time goal for the former Canadian Alex Galchenyuk, traded in Season 1 for the man that just lost that face-off. That has been the storyline for the two Stanley Cup finals we've had against the Avalanche in this GM mode. That is going to find itself at the feet of Damon Yeah, we are getting hemmed in our own end of the rink here. We're going to get scored on. Hedman just taking icing, and he'll take a penalty. I think Hedman's taken 2 dumb penalties in a row, and I think we're just getting frustrated because we are getting run out of our own building right now with these defensive zone possessions. So now I'm definitely putting Sidney Crosby on the penalty kill. And it was a slash to Victor Hedman, but I got to pause the game. Maybe one look at the replay, and I'll pause the game. There it is behind the net. I've made my change. He's out there now. Vovoda is off the penalty kill. Sidney Crosby's got to get his ice time. Now, that was a penalty that was taken in nothing but pure frustration. I'm going to play that, and I just got to believe, I got to trust that we can handle this. I'm going for it shorthanded because we are halfway through the game, and it's just Sidney Crosby domination mode extreme time. And he might do that. Over for Ming, but he was tied up. I like the vision from Crosby, but maybe not quite the awareness that we needed there. Oh, what a move by Glennie, but he couldn't complete it. Now we gotta have a body on Galchenyuk for the rest of the game. Duchesne heads it along for Sukai Ming. He's gonna go inside out. Couldn't step around the defender. They're gonna play you hard defensively for the rest of this game. It doesn't matter what the situation is. 5-on-5, shorthanded, even strength. Well, 5-on-5 is even strength. That's how nervous I am. I don't even know that 5-on-5 is even strength anymore. Damon Severson, get a stick on that. Slow it down. Pin him. Ronning, come and help you out. Come on, Ronning. I'm trying to find that puck. We did not get it. Big block. Ronning with a stick there on Dakiv. We pinned Dakiv. Fluttered into Fucali. Dakiv. Knocked down again, Ronning. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh. We're going to get our guy out of the box. Ryan Kudrowski. He is to it. I'm going to cut back. I almost had Severson. 7:53. Are we going to play Game 7? Do we want to play Game 7? Hell no. I'm just going to throw it. Landeskog onside? There ain't no way that's onside. I got to have my first line out there now. You got to do all the juicy, nibbly bits here to get a goal. Oh, Stromall denied, and we almost had the nibbly bits to get a goal. Kamayev, his deke, pushes it further back into the zone. We got to have a process. We got to trust our process and believe in ourselves. Believe in the things that got you here. There's no entry. Well, I take that back. Beager's found a way. Sending it down low. LeBlanc got stuck on the net. I talked about needing Sidney Crosby. I haven't put him out here. My first line needs to get out there, but it's so hard to micromanage that and try to play this game right now. If they dump it in, they will not. There it is. There's the dump in. We make McKinnon pay the price for that dump in. Up in the zone. And the territory is right. There it is. Sidney Crosby. That's one pump fake. Deke to the outside. Crosby doubles back on himself. And Elliott was there to defend that tightly. Crosby with no friends doesn't help either. Offside goes the Avalanche. I got my timeout for when I need it. I'm going to have to just try that third D pair, which has Ben Messier out there on it. This was such a near calamitous play for Damon Severson. That would have won the game for the Avs, and they may have well won the game anyway. 3-2. Do we have any late game drama in it for us, or are we going to Game 7 against the Avalanche? So this first line had a really good start to the game. Crosby kind of got in my way there. I was making something happen, and he got in the way. Rarely will I complain about Sidney Crosby doing something. You got a tattoo, Landeskog. That's good enough for me. Crosby fends off the check. Crosby is around. The nets come free. Keep him out there. I don't need my timeout yet. If he just had a little more overspeed, he would have been in the clear, and that turnover kind of caught me off guard, to be honest. Nah, it's not a time to lose that face-off. If you're Sid. Oh! Man, Brassard found it. He just squeezed the legs tight enough. Keep that second D pair. That was Burns that kept it in. You can't hesitate. That puck has got to get right back in if you're Brent Burns. And it was deflected again by Crosby. Look at this replay. Deflection by Crosby. Stand-up save again by Brassard. Where's this guy making these stand-up saves? He went to some unorthodox goaltending school. Or he went to a goaltending school back in the 1980s. He teleported here. Time traveler. Oh! I was in on that poke check. Habs fans, you got to shut up about wanting the cup, because we're not going to get it right now. No, so I'm gonna let. There it is. Yep, that's one move. Oh my God, I had it. We are going to cost ourselves a chance at this. Sent back in, Begris. Where's my first line? It doesn't matter. I can't worry about it. Niederreiter, that's one deke to avoid the contact. He's just a one-man show right now. I hate it, but it's one man in. That's not going to win you a game. First line's out there. That was a smart move by the coach. We got less than 2 to play in the game. Dakiv, his cut around the middle has worked. He still has it. It still's worked. Big couple of saves there. I could have taken my time out, but I'm going to trust this line right here to get a chance. Sukai Ming faking the slapper. Going around in front. Where the hell was that pass? It wasn't even on target for Pacioretty. Ming from behind the net in front. Crosby, what a save on Sid. Oh my God, that was the chance that would have nearly tied the game, sent it to overtime. McElrath. Heart's beating out of my chest right now because we got to get the goaltender pulled. We got to get a timeout at some point. There it is. That's a really horrendous turnover. I don't know why I did that. Knocked away from Landeskog. Now we got to pull it. Goaltender's pulled. And there was no defenseman up there. Ronning. Duchesne. Shut down. Timeout. Oh, man, the Avs are shutting us down, and there's just nothing I can do about it. Sid's out there. I thought Sid might be able to tie the game, score a goal there. Do we have an extra man on the ice? We do. We have to win this, Crosby. He does. Ming, go. There it is. Yes! Oh my God! Max Pacioretty has tied the game. We're at 3-3. Oh my goodness, man. The first line has had such a good game. Max Pacioretty slides into the soft area of the D down to one knee. Oh my gosh, clutch factor, baby. You have your gas and your brake pedal, but then you have the clutch on the left side, Max Pacioretty. We are going to go to Game 6 overtime. With the goaltender pulled, I have my first line out there. Sidney Crosby makes no mistake with a face-off. Ming poking it free. We're going to jump down there. Obliterate Landeskog. That's the horn. We're going to overtime. At least we have some late-game heroics and drama for you. Number 67 puts the team on his back. Man, this game's had some crazy things happen in it. But it's not over yet. Well, I can't believe we actually made it here. Game 6 overtime, cup on the line. Cup in the building. Max Pacioretty forcing overtime with a goal with 11 seconds to go in regulation play, trailing by 1. So now we just got to play simple. Could you imagine if that was the game winner? Sukai Ming dumping it in. The Avalanche were the beneficiaries of a fluky bounce in this game, so it's only right for me to get a fluky bounce in this game. That was a beautiful goal by Pacioretty. I did the little double back with Sukai Ming on that goal, and I saw Pacioretty was wide open in that soft little space in the defensive coverage, and we did not miss with it. Crosby on the wraparound turns and shoots. Could you imagine him getting his golden goal in the NHL in the Stanley Cup final? Down low, Crosby. There's a deke around. It pinballs around Eric Brassard, who's probably panicking in that goal crease, sweating up a storm, trying to fend off this Canadiens attack. That was a voracious hit by the defense. Damon Severson settles it down, slowing the game down behind the Montreal net. That was an optimistic pass. McElrath keeps the puck back into the Montreal zone. Max Pacioretty, who's been the clutch factor hero in this game, up to Crosby. He's got one deke around. He's got another man to beat. Driving play into the zone. Begris, we're going to shuffle it toward the area behind the net. Kept in by Brent Burns, and his shot is just slightly off the mark. Back for Burns again. Shot low to the pad. There was a rebound. That would be a perfect time for Brent Burns to come through with his first goal of the playoffs as the hero in overtime. Gabriel Landeskog not done yet with this series, but neither is Brent Burns with the body checks. Up to Duchesne. He's going to sprint free. That would have been a perfect time for a 360 no-scope. Man, the optimistic play of Matt Duchene on that possession. I was really thinking about it in hindsight that we should have done an up and over deke with Matt Duchene. McKinnon, Walker shot from the point. There's a rebound there. Settle it down. Brent Burns is hitting everything in sight. He had a shot that just missed the net. Then he got his second chance opportunity that I think did reach the net. Who was in front? Arvidsson. He's wearing Matt Duchene's former number with the Avalanche. I got to put the coffee mug down. I was drinking it. We got to take a face off. We lose it. Save. Do it again. Just do it again. It's overtime. In Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final, you take a face-off when it makes sense. Even if it's in your D zone, you take it. I don't know who's my fourth-line center. Is it Voivoda? That's a left shot. I need a left shot, yeah. I just need a left shot taking this face-off. Voivoda is the lucky man on the draw. Lucky indeed. He won the face-off. Skate Reinprecht. The problem with this fourth line is they're all slow. I don't have particularly great skaters on this fourth line. Voivoda shoots, and it was barely fended off by Eric Brassard. The positioning on the forecheck is otherworldly right now, and so are the body checks from all my defensemen. Is he injured? Oh my God, Dakiv injured. Get wrecked, Dakiv. Oh my God, Nathan McKinnon was seeking to destroy, and he still is. Voivoda, you could really cost us big time with this one. Strong Malls, Deke turned over to Johnson, and he's going to airlift it back into the zone. So questioning what is the status of Dakiv on the Colorado side of the ledger here. I'm going to deke around my own teammate. Now set up my teammate. No, it won't work out like that. Larry Ronning. Punishing blow. And the injuries might keep piling up for the Avalanche. It may not matter by the time this game's over. We have a delayed offside on the Montreal Canadiens, but it will not matter as the Avalanche eventually, well, we've tagged up now. Eventually they were going to get it out of the zone anyway. I believe this is Panik from the corner, dogged by Larry Ronning, but the turnover goes right to Arvidsson. Back up the wall he goes with it. The deflected pass reaches Kamayev, flip dump into the zone, wide of the net, settling for Brodin against LeBlanc. Burns with a hip check will force the dump in. Begris stops it behind the net. I should have risked that up the boards with Begris. We're harassed by... Galchenyuk's had a good game. He's proved why he is an elite player in this series. That's not an icing. Urbaum is pinned to the boards. Kuzminski forces it free from Walker. This is played behind the net. Walker escapes the forecheck, knocked down for center ice, and Burns will just ragtag it back for Begris. Up to Kuzminski. This should be a slap dump as this overtime ferociously continues on. Max Pacioretty does what he's been doing best in this game, coming up big in the biggest moments. Is he done scoring the goals? Can he have a hat-trick, overtime hero, game-winning play? Yeah, they knew they just needed to escape the pressure with that play. That was the smartest thing that the Avs could do. Smith, taken off the puck by Ronning, and he didn't have to do much to separate the puck from the man. Johnson plays it off the saucer pass that ends up in Colorado territory. Rask, off that right wing, dumps it back in. Messier will have to handle that, and he will. He'll chop it out the center ice where it is pinballing around for Sidney Crosby, who spins. Bumped in. Oh my goodness, man. Sid was so close to winning the game on that. I don't know if that would have counted or not. That would have been a controversial Stanley Cup winner if it had gone in and if it had counted. Ben Messier, his skate move, gets that puck out to center ice for Crosby. His toe drag dangle around. Crosby saved again. Crosby is trying to come up with some heroics on the ice to win this championship for the Canadiens. And what a dream that would be for Sidney Crosby to win it with his boyhood team, as well as, and by the way, Sidney Crosby's dad was a goaltender that was, I believe, drafted by Montreal. So that would also be another storyline there to win the cup with the team that his dad was drafted by. LeBlanc off the mark with that, as well as for Brent Burns, who's on the ice now to label Gabriel Landeskog with another body check. For him to win his first championship in the GM mode, he is not a winner yet in the GM mode. Peeled away from Chris Begris, up to Kamayev, who's onside with his play. We're going to stop, drop back for Burns. Burns is going to double pivot around the defender. shooting, but blocked by his own man. Kamayev twisted and wide of the net. That was pretty ferocious. Sent back in. The puck is going 1,000 miles an hour around the rink right now. Galchenyuk winds it up again from Colorado territory. Shoots, scores. Galchenyuk, we're going to Game 7. No. Oh, the Habs fans can't believe it. We're going to Game 7 again. I can't believe it. Missed my check with Messier. Is that a hat trick for Galchenyuk? Wait a minute. No. I just realized he has the 3rd goal of the night. He's the hat trick hero in OT. My trade has come back to haunt me. Oh my God. If they win this Stanley Cup, I'm going to be pissed. And on the back of this one, I'm going to have to go right into Game 7. I got to go right into Game 7. We had a good flavor to this game for our team. I felt like we played well. I mean, obviously, we came back, we got into OT, but just a little bit short.